It's happened, people. The chickens have come home to roost. Of course, by chickens, I mean the lunatics who've escaped from Rikers Island. And the home they're coming to is yours. Thanks to Spider-Man attracting these psychos to our city like moths to a flame. We had them all stashed right off the coast of Manhattan, if only someone had pointed out what a bad idea that is. Wait, I did. So listen to me now. Lock your doors. Arm yourselves with whatever you can get your hands on. It is now every man, woman, and child for themselves. And with reports that the Devil's Breath WMD has again been stolen, I have a very bad feeling it's only going to get worse from here.
How's it going, everybody? It's Meister Patrick here, back with some post-commentary on Marvel's Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. Today we are doing the last of the side missions in the entire game. Yeah, and by side missions I mean side objectives, because we already did all side missions. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of combat. I know that because I'm doing all the any missions. You see, you have to do the 20 aerial hit combo, and clearly I'm successful. Otherwise, this wouldn't be here. And this actually might be, if you remember in the last episode, I mentioned one of the missions. A police officer calls me out on endangering hostages. And it might be this one, it might be another one. It is one of these kind of type ones, though, where there are, of course, police officers nearby to make that sort of call. So after this one, I'll try to be quiet just in case it is, which seems to be, there we go. Nope, there's still tons of people to fight. Yeah, see, these are the hostages here on my right. I don't know what I'm trying to do. Oh, I think I was trying to super jump so I could, yeah, there we go. And then I should finish this guy up right quick, hopefully. Am I just styling on him? Yeah.
The city's turning into a playground for crazy people. Even more than it usually is, I mean.
Spider-Man, reckless endangerment. You could have gotten these people killed.
You're a real hero. Spider-Man's the hashtag greatest.
Yeah, see, so I thought, oh, here I am just buying some of the stuff I want to show that I bought.
In prison, they keep a low profile. Hey, making the license plate doesn't mean you own the car.
Haha. Yeah, so I thought it was kind of worth mentioning that because it was, well, I guess, I don't know, I just thought it was funny more than anything. Spider-Man, you recklessly endangered these people. You're a hero, Spider-Man. Shut up. Just the hostage saying like, oh, wow, thank you for saving us, right after the police officer was like, you shouldn't have saved them. Hostage is like, maybe screw you. But yeah, they are correct to some degree, right? That is one of the things about this game that I keep mentioning is that, you know, the sort of anti-vigilante sentiments that get brought up from time to time are, of course, sometimes legitimate, as there's a reason that we really don't actually have vigilantes. So, of course, that's sort of an easier argument to make, but it always works out with Spider-Man, so. In this fictional world, we can just enjoy it. Jameson, you don't have to be a little spoil sport like you are. I'm trying to do these air throws. I'm surprised that they don't die when I do these because they sure look painful. But it's a really interesting combat style as I just jump up, pull them up, then, you know, whip them around, and that's it. Not terribly effective, but it does what it needs to. Do I web them to the floor? No, I just went into the wall. That works.
City's falling apart. I've got to put a stop to Leonardo fast.
Gotta put a stop
This
fast.
place operating. I'll try to close it down stealthily so no one gets hurt.
Wow, so this I remember. You put it down stealthily so no one gets hurt. Throw the tire at the guy. So this is what I have to get a bunch of stealth takedowns, and this is the second time I'm showing this one off, this type of mission off, and I remember this takes forever because there's so many of them in such a crowded place that it's really hard to get a bunch of stealth takedowns like they want you to. But I get them, kind of. What is this guy doing? He's like, can't decide whether or not he wants to shoot. He's like, should I? No. Should I? No. Should I? No. Should I? Good stuff. This guy too. Should I? No. Should I? No. But should I? No. Should I? No. But should I? No. But no. But maybe no. I can't believe, I don't think I've ever noticed that before. That guy who can't make up his mind. Hopefully you see that. The blue laser that's shooting out. Is there another one? No. But should I? Oh, this is great. But yeah, it's easy. This is working out pretty well so far, which I'm surprised because I don't think I've been even checking to make sure I can stealthily take these guys out. I've just been doing it and been like, well, it'll work out. You see how many people there are in such a small amount of small space, whatever? Makes it like impossible to grab anybody. I just basically grabbed everyone I could, and luckily no one seemed to notice because whatever they were doing, they were too busy not paying attention to their friends. Is this guy safe? No. Yes. Get him. Oh.
You're in timeout.
Why do I do the flying thunder kick? Oh well, whatever. I might have been hoping to like lure someone else over there.
Look alive, everybody. We got
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed dangerous to not do it, but I didn't do it though. But I didn't do it. I don't even remember how I take out this last guy. I remember it being, I think I just like get spotted and try to lure a guy away that way. Same way I did way back in that first Mary Jane mission with that sweet, sweet Mary Jane. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, stealth. Yeah, stealth in this game is kind of an interesting concept. Do I just get him? Ooh, he's dangerous. Oh no. I was kind of hoping I didn't check, but I did check. Oh, do I just, oh, this is going to be great. No. That's a funny idea, though. Did you feel that random gust of air? No, we're probably fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know anyone who'd throw a gust of air at us. I really wish I did it again, though. I know I don't, but I really wish I did. Yeah, you see, I'm just kind of standing around here hoping to catch someone away from post.
somebody get over here. Okay, let's run a sweep.
Get over here! Someone's scorpion over there. My goodness.
Keep searching. We know he's here.
I think this guy is this guy like suddenly safe for a second? Maybe? No. You see, I was hoping. It's taking me forever. Oh my goodness. Yeah, when all these guys are watching each other's backs, it makes stealth a little bit harder. Though I don't know why I don't just switch to impact web. I could easily throw these guys off the roof with that. Of course, they'd see me, I guess, but yeah. Never saw a thing. It didn't count as a stealth takedown though, unfortunately. But oh my goodness, that was great. That's a pretty cool way of taking people down. Yeah, it didn't count. It's unfortunate. I do know I get it, of course, but it's just funny to see the yeah. Fool. Oh my goodness, I have to do the flying kick from like an inch away because the square prompt didn't show up. That's pretty good. It's clearly dynamic entry. Like, come on guys,
Someone needs a nap.
copying Naruto much?
Wonder if building owners are charging Sable rent for these rooftop posts. Yuri, I've got eyes on a mob of Riker's escapees. They're hunkered down for the long haul.
I'll send a team. But with all that's going on, it might take a while to get enough of my people together.
I don't want to think about what these guys could do in the meantime. I'll handle it.
All right, so this is oh my goodness, this is another one of those Riker's prison camps that just are slow and take forever. But I think this one's a lot smaller. I think the first one I did was the biggest one in the game. Oh, sorry if that knuckle crack picked up on the microphone.
Done.
Yeah, and I guess I'm doing so. Perform 5 stealth takedowns and perform 10 air yanks. Air yanks is what I was doing before I did the air throws earlier. Yeah, these missions were all pretty slow. Sorry, but because of that, I'll just talk about something else. So, Naruto, I recently was pointed out to me. Don't know if that sentence worked as well as I'd hoped it would. It was recently pointed out to me that Naruto came out, the manga came out like after Harry Potter by a little bit, like a year or something like that. And I realized that Naruto and Harry Potter had a surprising number of like similar themes. I think themes is the wrong word there. Similar like bad writings. No, I don't know how to describe it. Like basically they're both like young boys who have some secret power hidden within them, kind of. Not really so much as I guess so. Yeah, Harry Potter not in the same way, but ooh, that was cool. I don't think I've seen that one before or since. So Harry, of course, is like, oh, you're a wizard, Harry. And then with Naruto, it's like, oh, you're the tailed demon, Naruto. But they both have basically, what's similar is that they both have this like magical system that's very poorly explained through the entire series. And the explanation for why it's so poorly explained is because the main character just doesn't care enough for them to ever ask, like, hey, what's going on with literally everything. So, and they just kind of have these like very bold, brave main characters that just like, I'll fight you and I don't care who sees it or whatever. Do I try to do air yanks? No? Am I still trying to do stealth takedowns? I've already gotten my 5. I can just go. I think I'm trying too hard at this point. I should just start killing people. These things take too long anyway. Taking people out. My God, I don't know why I always so insistent on killing people in this game. Nobody dies. Spider-Man. If people died, it's like
Just not very observant.
I feel like the Arkham games were the first ones to kind of do that. Like nobody died while I clearly broke their necks. It's like, oh, but I broke their necks in a way that I knew they'd live from, cause I'm Batman. But yeah, same thing kind of happens in Spider-Man, whereas I feel like some of these hits should definitely kill people, but because it's Spider-Man, it doesn't. Everyone's okay, of course. Everyone's always okay. I think a more interesting sort of superhero debate that I don't see brought up often enough is that, like, I guess it's like the Punisher's argument is that like some of these supervillains are so ridiculously dangerous that like I'm surprised that they haven't found a better countermeasure for them, like other than hoping Spider-Man will deal with it. Like, I think they'd spend some time or whatever on defense technology to like, oh, the Vulture. You know, it's like maybe we should figure out a weapon that specifically counteracts the Vulture in case he gets out, you know, or something like that. Or Rhino. It's like, oh, well, maybe we should figure something out for that. But then again, it's like, well, so the Rhino, I think, is a bit obvious. It's like the same way you take out Juggernaut. You just use chemicals, which is something that everyone kind of doesn't use in this. In a lot of superhero things, I guess, is I would just use, like, if I had to take down the Rhino. Oh, this is cool. This is actually a really cool tactic where I jump off of the edge and I try to air yank them towards me and I air throw them down and then just auto grips them. Yeah, you see those guys piling up there. Unfortunately, it doesn't has its limitations because the air yank only works within like a certain radius of you or something like that. And oh shoot! And the air throw only throws. Yeah, you see here I'm having trouble yanking someone up for some reason. Maybe because this is like kill range or something. Yeah, and then also that happens. See, there's a lot of limitations to the air yank, so that method doesn't work as well as I'd like it to. But it was fun. It's pretty cool. And then the throw, of course, throws only straight down. So it's only the specific tactic only works if you're over a ledge, like I was there. So that's how I really like that wall move that I just used, the off the wall attack. I think I use it increasingly, sort of as I sort of later in my playthrough of this game. And I still haven't beaten the game yet, by the way. As of my recording of this, the main campaign has not yet been finished by me, which was intentional because I'm actually only one mission away from the end. At the time of this voice recording. At the time that I was recording the footage,
Spider-Man, from what I can tell, factions that existed within Rikers have stayed together now that they're out.
Explains why they're forming multiple strongholds instead of just one big one. They don't trust each other.
Works to our advantage. They're clumped together, but not so many they can't be dealt with.
Easy for you to say. I gotta go.
So I recorded the footage for this video, like immediately after episode 19 of the playthrough, but I'm recording the voice after episode 23. So just full, I don't know what you call that. I'm gonna say visibility, not visibility, but clarity. I don't know. Nothing hidden. Opacity at 100. I don't know. At any terms. Something interesting though about what she said is that after they left Rikers prison, they formed factions, and I believe in the IRL prison system, gangs are organized by race usually, which seems incredibly racist of them, but to be fair, they are all criminals. So I thought it was interesting. I don't think this game did that, mainly because they probably would have been like called out for being racist, despite that just being accurate. But so I don't know. I guess I'm not saying that's good or bad either way. I'm just saying that I noticed it, and I'm just here to be informative. So thought I'd point it out when they mentioned it's like, oh, the prisoners formed up by gang. It's like, yeah, of course they would. All the prisoners are in their own gangs. But those gangs are distinguished by race, which it doesn't appear as though they did in this. Unless they did, and I just didn't notice. Like, this is... But yeah, I feel like I would have noticed that there was a... Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just colorblind. But it seemed like I saw a white guy and like a brown guy or something. I don't know if I've seen any black guys like in this whole game. Yeah, I'm sure they're here. I just don't feel like is that guy? I don't know. It's dark. I mean, not that it's dark, so I can't see them. No, it's dark, so I can't distinguish what everyone is. See, everyone looks just like vaguely like, yeah, either, oh, there's a black guy. Okay, whoosh. Yeah, so, and this guy's clearly not black. So, definitely not defined by the racially defined prison gangs that we have in our world. But hey, this is a different universe, so maybe they're more progressive, the prison systems. The prisoners, not in this reality. Haha. It's interesting that he uses his web to give himself more force. That feels unnecessary.
All clear for the cleanup crew. Tell locals they can go to the bodega now.
Nice work. Things are hard enough in this city without it turning into a giant prison yard.
Yuri, a group of escaped inmates looks like they've gotten their hands on some serious firepower.
Last thing we need right now is a massive shootout on a residential street. Is this something you can handle quietly?
Quietly might be pushing it, but I can do it without a massive shootout. There might be a bunch of webs around, though.
I'll take it. Good luck.
Yeah, so this one, for example, is actually a pretty small Rikers prison yard camp, whatever, Rikers prisoner camp. Prisoner camp actually sounds a lot worse. Yeah, there's another black guy. I don't know what I was talking about. Though he looked identical to the other one, so, you need character models. Who needs them? They're all kind of generic. What do you call them? Yeah, that was a pretty cool tactic I did, where I just like pushed everyone against a wall and then switched to the impact blaster to just stick them to that wall. Though I kind of wish I'd try hitting someone with a grenade and then using the concussive blast, so that I like push them all against the wall and then the grenade like goes off and sticks them all to the wall. Maybe, I don't know. I definitely have never tried that. Although there's still an episode left, or like I said, I still haven't done part 24. So. Which will be the final part of the series. So this still may be a chance for me to try that if I think about it. But for now, I'll just be using a lot of finishers and perfect dodges, as that is the requirement for this. It's the bonus objectives for this camp, I guess. I don't know what to call these.
For guys who just got out of the raft, they sure are eager to go back.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? I thought these guys were from Rikers. Not the raft. I don't know. Now I'm confused. I thought the raft was for super criminals. These people are just like regular people. That means that there is not enough super criminals in this game. Like not like Vulture and Dr. Ark, but like the Sinister 6 or whatever. 6 is plenty. I meant like there's no like basic guys, whatever. There's not like the Tombstone side mission. Oof, that was rough. There you fought kind of like these super criminals who were just kind of generic enemies, but they had like superpowers, whatever, so it made them a little bit more difficult to fight. It would have been nice to have more guys like that. He definitely like diverted his bullets in the wrong direction specifically to his friend. That's okay. I kind of like that was programmed in the game because it looks pretty funny and it feels good to do, I think.
Reinforcements. Look, guys, this is not gonna help at your parole hearing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the joke, I guess. I was saying, I don't think these people are terribly worried about that, but I think that is the joke.
Spider-Man, I'm getting reports of shots fired.
I can confirm that. They're not hitting anyone, though.
try to keep it that way.
Since I'm the only one they're aiming at, I am totally on board with that.
It's funny you said they're not hitting anyone when I think I was like just hit by bullets. They sure are hitting me. I also remember that this particular camp, I have a very difficult time getting the bonus objectives. I almost miss it. And I might have already said that. And if I didn't already say it, then I meant to have already said it. So it's really kind of a lose-lose situation either way with that.
Is it sad that a bunch of criminals have more loyal friends than me?
Probably. Nah, I mean, I don't know. I think you have a chance to like make friends in prison a lot. You also have a chance to make enemies, but you know, when you're a superhero out on the street, I feel like, you know, all these prisoners have more loyal friends than like I do, for example. Whoa, of course, they all kind of have a common enemy more than anything else as well. Which I guess Spider-Man has a common enemy with, whoa, a lot of people in the city. But, you know, none of them have superpowers, so it's probably not advisable that they help Spider-Man out. Yeah! It's an off-the-wall attack. That thing's strong, and it's like homing, so you can hit people from pretty far away with it. It's recommendable. Recommendable? I don't know. Hopefully I picked Scout. Yeah. I'm trying to get perfect dodges in. I think that's the one that I like almost don't get. Like right now, I don't know why I'm not doing finishers. Oh, I'm waiting for 2 guys to show up because I can hit 2 guys with my perfect finishers. Perfect dodges. Finishers. See, like I get 1 finisher here, and then I need a 2nd guy to also do the finisher on.
Rushing into the fight to be on my side.
Yeah, and then I get that.
Even settle for neutral.
So now I have to get perfect dodges, which requires me to let people attack me. So you see here, I'm not fighting anymore because I'm trying to get those. Yeah, trying to get those perfect dodges. Although, yeah, the brute I don't like risking because I don't think he's worth it. So that's why I'm was specifically going after him there, even though I did just say that I wasn't going to attack anyone. And you see that all this attacking I'm doing does kind of not work in my favor, since I get pretty close to not getting this one. I probably should have focused more time on getting perfect dodges and less time on attacking. But yeah, see, it's like, I better stop. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I keep attacking this guy. He's the last one in the whole level. Like, if I'd killed him there, I would have lost this. But it works out. And yeah, now that I have everything, I take him out. And yeah, stick him to the wall. So it worked out in the end.
Captain, the inmates and all their guns are webbed up and waiting.
Thanks. No way we could have taken them without collateral damage. I hope the locals appreciate you.
I caused a little collateral damage myself.
Yuri, looks like some people were protesting this Sable base, and the agents responded by locking them up.
Great way to win hearts and minds. Can you get them out?
It'll take some persuasion, but I'm a pretty persuasive guy.
And by persuasive, I mean my fists. Yeah. I feel like Spider-Man's not terribly persuasive, but he does have fists. I don't know if I've ever talked on the show about the whole like idea of like how successful is Spider-Man as a deterrent in the Marvel universe. I don't know if that's ever come up, so I'll bring it up now in case. Oh no! Luckily nobody saw that somehow, so that's good.
I should have called first.
Oh, that was really awkward, but I pulled it off, I think. Yeah, you know, whatever. Kind of pulled it off. I think those... What the heck happened? Is my thing not working? Oh, okay. That was weird. So anyway, yeah, so I've heard, I don't know if it's true, or if it's just from like a like a TV show and it wasn't in the comics, or if it's from a specific comic line, or you know what the deal is. But Fisk made all of the other superhumans in the like Sinister Six, like the Scorpion and Rhino and
during the infiltration.
You know, those sorts of people. He made them because Spider-Man was... So Fisk runs all of the crime in New York. He's, you know, whatever. Every small, minor crime, a portion of the money goes back to him. That's, you know, why he's so rich.
You earned it.
Unfortunately, it's not because of his spice trade, supposed, that we find out about from one of the little things we pick up, the backpacks, I think. Do I just take this one down? Please tell me I just pull this thing down. Let's see. Oh, I just take him out first, and now I pull this down.
Sleepy.
Yeah, I think that's safer, though less stealthy by far. I didn't even check him. Oh, whatever. I think I'm just trying to get everyone at this point. Yeah, and then there you go, wave 2. Cool. Oh, dodge that. Yeah. What was I talking about? Yeah. So, the problem was that Spider-Man was so effective at stopping criminals that didn't want to get beat up that they were afraid to rob stores because Spider-Man might show up, even though it's like, I think Fisk points out, it's like really statistically unlikely that Spider-Man will show up to your specific crime if, you know, they're happening all around the city. He's just one guy. It's a big city. And he's like, yeah, but we really don't want to take that risk. He punches kind of hard. I show him there. So what Fisk does is he makes these super criminals. And you think, oh, okay, so he's making super criminals so that they can get through Spider-Man and successfully, you know, do crimes, whatever. And so Spider-Man has to stop them. And the answer is no, actually. Fisk expects them to, well, he doesn't expect them to fail. He would like it if they succeeded, but he isn't counting on them succeeding. See, what he does instead is he lets everyone know that, hey, you know, Vulture's going to rob a store at 4 p.m. today, so Spider-Man will be fighting Vulture, you know, at 4 or whatever, nearly, you know, soon after 4. So
I'm leaving a bad review.
you can do any sort of minor crime you'd like during that time because Spider-Man will be too occupied with Vulture. And then while you do that minor crime, the money goes back to Fisk. And that's actually the benefit of having those super villains around. It's not that he's necessarily expecting the supervillains to succeed in fighting Spider-Man. He's more expecting them to just be a distraction while the real crimes take place at other places in the city. Of course, you'd have to then hope that the police can take care of those other crimes, since that is their job to take care of crimes. But, you know, who knows? I don't know. Whatever. The police are corrupt and fist pocket, you know, whatever. Who knows where it goes from there? But that is, I remember the described plot line in one of the, I think it was the TV show or one of the TV shows. I thought it was a really interesting logic compared to, you know, kind of what you think. It's like, oh no, you know, it's the big bad guy that Spider-Man has to fight. And actually, in that same show that I was just talking about, Fisk makes an offer to Spider-Man where he's like,
calling customer service. I distinctly ordered only one group of hostile Sable agents.
Fisk says like, okay, I can stop like all of these, you know, supervillains from ever attacking anyone again if you just agree to...
Spider-Man, I just heard Sable's issuing an internal bounty on you. Huge bonus for any agent that brings you down.
Nothing like a little healthy competition to maintain a positive work environment.
Okay, continuing. Sorry for them. I had to stop for that, but I wanted you guys to be able to hear that. Where was I? Yeah. So it was kind of interesting offer that Fisk made Spider-Man, which was if it's like you can keep doing you can keep stopping crimes throughout the city, and I will get rid of the supervillains so they no longer attack, and all you have to do is agree to look to like not stop a crime every once in a while when I tell you. It's like, hey, there's going to be a robbery going down at, you know, these 2 streets, just don't stop it, right? Don't help it. Don't try to stop the police. You know, you can even warn the police. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really. Anyway, the point is, you know, Spider-Man of course turns it down, but so I don't really know how far they go with that. But it is kind of interesting to hear I don't know how I lost all of my, I healed myself. Okay. I was like, how did I lose all my focus points? So yeah, Spider-Man's like, no, I'll keep fighting. I won't agree to be evil. I won't take your dirty money, which is noble of him. But of course, that means that, you know, Fisk continues to do. But that's the thing, is like, that is kind of the, you know, the right attitude to have. I think I agree, of course, with that. But yeah, it just was an interesting proposal of like, it's like, you know,
it was worth a try.
You know, it's like I could attack, you know, whatever. It's like basically, you know, I have the ability to hurt a lot of people in the city, and I will agree to hurt less people if you'll let me, you know, safely conduct minor crimes. But basically, I'll stop doing major crimes if you agree to let me do minor crimes, which is a weird solution because Spider-Man, of course, is all for no crimes whatsoever. But it's worth probably just, the thought. I don't know. It's its own unique proposal where he's not saying like help me with small crimes. It's just saying you don't stop me. But then that's, we're, like I said, it's like, oh, then the police can still stop him. But then, if the police took this deal too, then, then crimes are happening. And it's just like kind of letting someone win who we shouldn't let win. So Spider-Man fights on, and, someone has to. Hopefully the police made the same decision, and together the police can stop the minor crimes while Spider-Man stops the major crimes. Though potentially more people could get hurt in this process. The real solution would be to take Fisk out so that he couldn't organize all this, but it is what it is. I mean, I guess that's what happened at the beginning of this game, so there you go. Let's free these guys? Yeah. Protesters. Oh, and I max leveled. Right now, I think. You're welcome.
Got the people out of the cells. They don't seem inclined to continue their protest.
I hate that Sable's violating constitutional rights, but right now, I'll settle for keeping innocent people out of lockup. Thanks.
Some people who were locked up were sitting down and they got up like way too quickly. And that's where I bought the last thing, which I will use. And I bought a bunch of other stuff for, because I knew I'd be showing them off here. And, those are just kind of like little nice things I can have.
Good shot.
Yeah, and now I have the secret photo ops tracker. So I'll be getting all the secret photos.
Perfect.
And I don't know what else I'll be doing. I think there's more outposts still to do.
Alarmist, paranoid, conspiracy theorists. All nasty words people have used to insult and demean me. But now, after years of me trying to warn you all, here we are. Spider-Man has literally plagued down upon us. Why do I blame him and not Martin Lee? I do blame Martin Lee. He deserves swift justice, but he's a lunatic terrorist. This is what they do. Whereas Spider claims to be a hero. Yet he obviously knew about the threat and didn't warn us. He either thought he'd handled it, which makes him criminally negligent, or he was in on it, which makes him a terrorist too.
Fair point, JJ. There was something in there that I thought was interesting, but I think I have since forgotten it. I think he's made a similar point to that before. The whole the fact that they knew about this is sort of what makes it worse. Like, Spider-Man definitely did all that he could to. You can see I almost died there. Spider-Man definitely did all he could to try and stop them, but he didn't warn people about it, or so I feel like that's not really good of him. But it might have been one of those like, oh, we don't want to cause panic, but it's like, well, maybe we should have caused a panic. A panic was caused, I think it's safe to say. Maybe not by you, but probably could have been more organized if we kind of let people know ahead of time. It's like, hey, be careful. So yeah, I mean, whatever, Spider-Man's obviously not in on it, but he is perhaps criminally negligent. But of course, again, this is all supposedly not Spider-Man's job, and so there's the fact that this is also on the fault of police. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. When JJ skipped a couple of those voice line words, whatever, I don't know if you noticed, his voice kind of jumped around, so hopefully you were reading those subtitles. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die again. The reason for that is I had paused and unpaused, and so I tried to skip through the pauses, so that way his conversation flowed a little bit better. But unfortunately, some of the words were cut out in doing that, and that's just because the audio keeps playing after you press pause like a little bit, so when you unpause it, it skips a little bit, which is unfortunate. So that's that. Crime stopped. And oh yeah, here's a little another little secret photo ops. It's a little campaign section.
Yuri, I have eyes on a Sable base. They've got prisoners, but I don't know what they're charged with, and I don't want to let dangerous people back on the streets.
The real criminals they turn over to us. The people they hold on site haven't done anything they can make a case over.
I can think of at least 2 amendments that violates. Okay, looks like I'm staging a jailbreak.
Yeah, probably freedom of speech and another one. Another one. No, I feel bad for not guessing what the other one is. Amendments? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily Bill of Rights amendments,
Incapacitated.
but it might be what they're going for. I have no clue. I mean, I definitely think there's laws against that. I just don't specifically know which ones they'd be. I think you can't just detain people without reason, but is that an amendment? It might be. I'm not familiar enough with my amendments, probably. And now I just kind of have to feel bad. Okay, so we're doing stealth stuff. I remember something interesting about this Sable base was going through my mind while I was doing it. I don't remember if I thought this one was too hard or too slow or too weird or what. I don't remember what the deal was with this one. But I do remember this one being one of the more memorable bases to me. And again, not necessarily in a good way or a bad way. I just remember it being memorable. I wish I could tell you more, but I don't know. There are a lot of places to stand and like hook people to walls and stuff. That's kind of cool. Hopefully as this is going, I'll like sort of remember it. But no guarantees on that.
Why don't you set this one out?
I do remember it. I don't think it had to do with the stealth. I believe it was the combat that I remember being interested, because I think well, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's probably better to point it out when it happens. But I do remember having to like, I think I just hid in a corner for like most of the fight and let people come to me. And then eventually they stopped coming to me. And so I had to like hunt them down, which felt weird to do, because it was like, there we go. The fighting scene appears to have started. Yeah, so wow. That was good job on the hitting me with a van. Oh my goodness. That was hilarious. Yeah, Spider-Man's weakness is clearly vehicles. I don't know why more people don't drive vehicles straight into him. Did that even set off my spider sense? I don't think so, right? I think that vehicle just plowed into me. There was nothing I could do about it. Yeah, so here I'm like kind of hiding behind these barriers. I don't remember why though. I'm trying to do the yank down. That's right. I'm trying to, I don't want to like stand in the way of gunfire, because this yank down thing kind of takes some time. What am I doing? So yeah, I'm like hiding behind these shipping containers and trying to, I'm hoping that people kind of come to me. There we go. Yeah, and these guys are shooting me, which is annoying, but I'm doing it. And yes, I think that was the thing that I was thinking about. I was like, oh man, all those gun people will not move. Like I have to go chase after them if I want to take them out. Whereas I'm used to kind of people coming to me most of the time. And ooh, you see my web people on the floor tactic working out. Of course, now my web shooters are jammed. There we go. Back online. We're back online. I'm in.
You know, this would be way more fun if you guys made pew noises.
It would be more fun, probably. I don't know why they don't do that. No, maybe because they're a completely serious militant force, but maybe I should make the pew pew noises for them. Next time I see someone shooting at Spider-Man, I'll try to remember to make pew pew noises. Let's see if that makes it more fun. Here we go. Pew 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 pew. Was that more fun? Pew. Oh yeah. No, that was the other thing. Was there was these turrets on the vehicle that took me forever to notice. I was like just like running around it in circles, and I was like, oh shoot, there's a turret up there. I don't know. I didn't. Wow, that guy had an arm. Oh my goodness, that was really accurate and really distant throw. Also, I forgot to make pew pew noises. And pew pew pew, pew pew pew. I like sad pew pew noises personally. It's just like pew pew. This guy can shoot. Yeah, he sure is. He sure is. I was trying to get the counterattack on him.
asking for a friend.
Yeah, of course. Right. I don't want to join Sable. Wait, what kind of a friend does he have that wants to join Sable? Maybe that's the joke. I feel like I've said that a number of times.
I did some research. All the people they're hoping did is protest Sable's heavy-handed tactics.
Gotcha. I'm lodging a protest myself right now. I'll let you know how it goes.
I'm protesting with my fist. All right, that was incredibly unsuccessful. What am I doing? Is this where I... Ooh, yeah, I'm dodging around. Is this where I first successfully managed to take down one of these jetpack guys? Yeah, see? That was kind of like... I want to say that's kind of where I decided to treat them more like regular enemies instead of as like the super enemies, like the sword guys or the whip guys or the big boys. They're just kind of like... Because they are... I now know, but I honestly, I don't know when I figured that out. Because for a very long time, I had a lot of trouble with those guys, and I don't... Yeah, see, there's another turret showed up, and it just like takes me forever to realize there's a turret that is attacking me, I think. Which might have been what made this one kind of weird, because I wasn't used to having to fight turrets showing up in the fights like this. Do I take out this guy too? I do.
For money, right? Well, how much to lay off? And don't say more than 20.
20 million? Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, well, I guess not a very good question, considering Spider-Man doesn't probably have enough money to pay all these people to lay off, but because they're, mercenary. I think mercenaries get paid pretty well, with the whole hazard potential and all that. Yeah, those rockets follow you forever. They do not let up. Yeah, so I think here I am. Even like trying to figure out where people are. It's like, what the heck is shooting at me? Oh, there you are. Why are you guys hiding so much? Yeah, and I guess another important thing is, yeah, see, like take out the jetpack guys much more easily. Though it is to some degree important to prioritize them because they are, kind of glass cannons.
Ever feel like your helmets make this impersonal? I mean, hot kettle, I know.
Yeah, true. Do you ever feel like your masks make your mask makes this impersonal? Also, I feel like the answer is probably yes, because I think mercenaries want it to be impersonal, whereas Spider-Man is not his goal, but that might be a potential issue. Whereas, it's like, oh, Spider-Man's more of a figure than a man, but also that kind of helps, I guess, when fighting criminals, because then it's like the idea of Spider-Man that scares people. It's like the Batman tactic, where he's more of a figurehead for anti-crime. So yeah, I'm like running away, and it's like, where is everyone? This whole map just felt like this outpost felt really. Yeah, here I am. Like here I am. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I think I just tried doing the pull just to figure out where in the world he was. And there's another guy here. It's like, where are you? Why aren't you attacking me? There he is. Like, what were you doing, buddy? All right, it was nice knowing you. Nice to.
That took longer than it should have.
I don't know. I was trying to make like a kicking pun or something. Look at the guy sitting down. If he stands up, yeah, it's like way too quick and weird. It's very awkward.
Captain, the area is secure and the cells are all empty.
Officially, I can't condone that. Unofficially, thanks.
Officially, I will put you in jail next time I see you. Officially, let's go get lunch.
There is someone else who isn't emerging from this crisis in a positive light. Mayor Osborn. Experimenting on something as deadly as Devil's Breath in the heart of Manhattan is the height of irresponsibility. What did Osborn know and when did he know it? The answer could mean the difference between electoral defeat, impeachment, and prison. Stay tuned to the only voice you can trust in these dire times. Mine.
More of that fear tactic. So this is just the other side of that building we're just looking at.
With how they operate, but can't deny their success.
I don't know why it wanted me specifically to take a picture of the entrance.
My friends, I'm getting a lot of frantic calls from people trying to get out of Manhattan. While I understand the impulse, that is not the answer. I've been in touch with the National Disease Center, and they've assured me they're working on an anti-serum. But for their efforts to bear fruit, we need to keep our composure. Here's why we have to stay where we are. Firstly, we need to keep the disease contained. The more it spreads and the more people who are sick, the fewer resources there are to go around. And I have received personal assurances from officials in Albany that relief convoys are coming, containing food and medicine. And, excuse me, I've just been handed an update. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. It seems the relief convoys I just mentioned are being attacked by escaped inmates from Rikers Island Prison. Spider-Man, this is on you! You were there in the most charitable reading of the situation! You failed to stop the breakout! Worst case, you were responsible for it! You always claimed to be on our side. Well, Webhead, if that's true, you are rapidly running out of chances to prove it!
So, I think it's safe to say that the breakout wasn't specifically Spider-Man's fault in any way.
All units, prisoners are opening fire from
Magnify.
stolen vehicles. Witness reported location as Sugar.
Captain, these Sable guys look like they forced all the residents out of a building so they could occupy it themselves. And locked up the ones who objected.
Okay, that I can get something done about, but I need victims to come forward.
I'll get the people out and have them file reports with the police. Sleep it off.
This again goes back to, like, I don't know. I know I've said it before. I'll probably say it again. J. Jonah Jameson is incredibly inconsistent with his complaints about, it's like, oh, Spider-Man's the reason that these guys got out of prison. He's supposedly protecting us. But it's like, okay, but also the police are actually, it's their jobs to protect you. And yet they clearly did not do it successfully. So, you know, what's that all about? And it's really difficult to blame Spider-Man for their escape, as they didn't even plan on attacking Spider-Man when they escaped. Their plan was to attack Osborn. Of course, they wanted to take Spider-Man out in the process because they considered him their greatest threat to their success, which just goes to show the lack of abilities of the police, which are supposedly what Jameson would prefer having over Spider-Man. It's not like Spider-Man gets paid by the government to do, you know, he's not taking money away from the police or anything like that. The police department's getting whatever funding they get. You know, they don't have to divert funds for the Spider-Man, you know, paycheck or anything like that. So, you know, the only argument you can make for if Spider-Man is a bad thing to have around is in, like, the argument of, you know, where we saw him endangering hostages, right? Where it's like, okay, his presence clearly had a more detrimental effect than his lack of presence, which was kind of the interesting thing about what I was saying earlier about the whole Fisk creating the superhumans specifically to combat Spider-Man. Yeah, there we go.
Literally didn't see that coming.
Literally? Did he literally not see that coming, Spider-Man? It was literal that he didn't literally see that coming, Spider-Man? Did he literally not see it coming, Spider-Man? Literally? Or you mean literally he didn't see it coming, Spider-Man? Sorry. Just wanted to make that joke. What was I talking? Oh, yeah. So that's kind of the interesting thing about Fisk is that it's like, okay, is the presence of Spider-Man made the city more dangerous? The answer is, in that logic that Fisk provided with the superhumans, the city has in fact been made, you know, less safe with the presence of Spider-Man, because some of these supervillains would not have shown up if Spider-Man were not around, and they are clearly dangerous. So, that being said, we don't necessarily know that's true because, you know, Fisk is not a good guy, right? You know, he might have made the superhumans anyway, just because that would get him more money, even more money. You know, if Spider-Man wasn't around to stop those guys, then if they robbed banks, it would be more successful. But one of the things that they kind of mention in this game a lot is that Fisk does seem to really like New York. He's a criminal. He needs to make his money and all, but he isn't out to, like, wreck New York. Like, it does seem like he made the, you know, the supervillains with the intent of Spider-Man being able to take them down. Like, maybe. I honestly, I doubt it, but you know, whatever. It would be an interesting story is kind of what I'm saying, to have this potential idea of Fisk where he did make, let's say he did make these criminals in a way. I think I was so close to the end there that I was like, getting more stealth takedowns won't really be super helpful. At this point, I'd rather just kind of hop in there, speed this up. But anyway, so yeah, I feel like it's an interesting story idea to have a Fisk that did specifically make these villains with the intent of them not being strong enough to fight Spider-Man, because he didn't want to, destroy New York or anything like that. He's just needed a adequate distraction for Spider-Man while minor crimes took place. He likes the city of New York, but he's got to make his money. So he's kind of a weirdly sort of corrupt with a heart guy. I don't know. I don't know how well that sort of thing would work in a story if they kind of fully went for that, or how believable it is. I'm no psychomologist, but I don't know. It sounds to me like it would kind of be an interesting take on the Fisk thing. And for all I know, that might just literally be what it is. I'm saying that I don't know enough about what Fisk, how the writers originally had interpreted Fisk's position in all this. So if it was how I just described, then I think that's cool, because that does sound to me like a really interesting way of that character's existing. But if it's not, then, whatever. I think that would be an interesting interpretation of it if they want to do something like that. Excuse me. I think I maybe made that too overly complicated. But on the other hand, this fight's going well, right? You can see me using, every time I'm in close space, I like to use that off the wall move. I don't think I ever show it off. One of my favorite crimes I ever did. Oh, that was unfortunate. Yeah. Shoot. One of my favorite, I don't care about criminals. These guys are mercenaries. Like,
Spider-Man, I confirmed your suspicions. People displaced from the residences are staying in shelters or on the street.
I know what it's like not to have anywhere to stay. It's a good thing these Sable agents have body armor, because I just might lose my temper.
Bye. That got a little, like, I don't know, I was gonna say sad, but we already knew Spider-Man lost a place to stay, but it was surprising Yuri didn't mention anything. It's like, wait, what do you mean you know what it's like to not have a place to stay? He's like, oh, I'm currently homeless. I was like, really? Like, I just didn't think about it. It's like, yeah, my life's a depressing mess, but out here saving the city and all. But anyway, back to the Sable agents. Yeah, they're mercenaries. They don't care about taking out criminals. They're not a police force.
Help! I'm being attacked by Sable agents! Oh, wait a minute!
They're, they don't care. They're not police. They're hired to do a job, and it's like, oh, whatever makes me the most money. If I make more money taking out Spider-Man, then I'll take out Spider-Man. If I make more money taking out criminals, I'll take out criminals. I'm not doing any of this for what's good. None of this is my. They're probably not even American or anything. They probably have nothing to do with any of this. They're all from another country, and they're just fighting because they're getting paid to do it. They have no investment. They'll do whatever's safest, or makes them the most money in this particular case.
For private security, you guys aren't very private.
It's a lot easier for them to fight civilians and put them in prison than fight real criminals, because the real criminals might actually fight back, which would be more dangerous. And they're not in it for danger. They're in it to make money. So, that being said, this whole fighting Spider-Man thing, I don't know if it's terribly worth it. I feel like I definitely not attack Spider-Man on sight, but that is the job. I guess they were told to attack Spider-Man on sight, so they kind of have to if he shows up. But puts him in a difficult position. Yeah, see, there's the turret again. I didn't even notice. I'm trying to grab it, but it wants to grab everything else. Of course, like always. So, yeah, I think Sable's from another country, I want to say. I think even we see their embassy at one point. It's one of the photo ops or secret photo ops or whatever. Though I don't remember what that country's called. Yeah, I want to say electricity removes the. See, they have chest armor on. The chest armor prevents you from using web on them, like just your basic web attack. So I think the electricity immediately removes the body armor when it exists. And you'll see they have just black chests when that happens. This last guy? Yeah, see, this guy has the chest piece on, so it didn't work. I can't use any of my web attacks on him. And I'm not sure if I figured that out yet. Yeah, so that knocked off his chest piece, so now he has a black chest. You can see that. And now he can stick to a wall. So that's how that works. It almost never comes up though, I feel like.
Well, that was educational.
But it's kind of a neat idea. Yeah, as an enemy type, to have someone semi-immune to webs.
That was pretty scary. Thanks, Spider-Man.
Captain, the people that were locked up are headed back to their homes.
Good. And I finally convinced the mayor's office that making constituents homeless was not good for his poll numbers, so they won't be pulling that stunt again. Spider-Man, good news. The mayor finally cracked the whip on Sable International. No more locking up New Yorkers without due process of law.
Guess they figured out it was a PR disaster. For once, we got a clean win.
Well, not quite. I hear rank-and-file Sable agents blame you for stopping the gravy train. They'll be gunning for you even harder now, and no one's going to stop them.
By now, I think it'd freak me out more if nobody was gunning for me. Let them come. I'll be ready.
I've had numerous callers today reporting that entire city blocks are being taken over by escaped inmates from Rikers. These are literal no-go zones in the heart of Manhattan. A dystopian future from 70s movies come to life. Why don't the police stop it, you ask? Oh, you're going to love this. It seems the prisoners ambushed a convoy carrying weapons and ammunition for the authorities and took it all for themselves. The police are outgunned by their own guns. Well, all right. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we see if Sable International and Spider-Man are the protectors they claim to be. These criminals aren't hiding. They're right in plain sight, daring you to come get them. Well, we're waiting!
Hey, and what a coincidence. You know who doesn't need guns?
Yuri, this whole street's been taken over by Rikers inmates.
We've had calls from people who are afraid to leave their buildings.
Tell them to stay inside a little longer. There's gonna be some street cleaning.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man doesn't need guns. Unlike Sable agents, of course. Also, one thing I was going to say before, when we were fighting the Sable agents, though I guess it's still kind of applicable now. Like, you know, there's no real reason to blame these Sable agents. Oh, you see I've changed my outfit for whatever reason. This one's my favorite one in the game, so I think I just put it on because I like it. There's no real... I don't know why I would not let that guy go. There's no real reason to blame... I'm trying to get a 50-hit combo, shoot. To blame the Sable agents for what they're doing, because they're just doing whatever they get paid the most to do. So it's like, oh, Sable agents are fighting Spider-Man because they're getting paid the most to fight Spider-Man. Like, they're just mercenaries. They do whatever makes them the most money. So, I mean, the person to blame here is definitely Mayor Osborn. Like, the people aren't, like I said, you know, they're foreign mercenaries from another country. They're here doing whatever job they have to do because they get paid money to do it. So it's like wherever the money is, that's what they'll do. So, you know, if Mayor Osborn said, hey, you know, no money for killing Spider-Man, we're working with him, and anyone who attacks him isn't getting paid, then guess what? They wouldn't attack Spider-Man. Like, you know, they said, hey, if you know, whatever, like his, right? It's like, oh, yeah, the Sable International won't lock up the citizens without due process of law anymore because Mayor Osborn said, hey, don't do that. And they're just a mercenary group. So they stopped.
Vacancy opens up and everyone's rushing to take it.
Nah, typical New York. You know, I was in New York one time and there was a vacancy, and everybody rushed in. You know, it's just accurate. That's just accurate in New York, I'm sorry, I don't know why I decided to go into that bit. Mainly because I'm just talking, boy. I'm just talking. We're just having fun over here. But yeah, so anyway, I don't know. I think I got what I wanted to say about Sable International. It's definitely more Osborn's fault, I would say. Of course, that being said, it's like...
Guys, this isn't necessary. I'm already scared straight.
Is that an anti-gay joke, Spider-Man? You a homophobe? No.
Spider-Man, I've spoken to people on the block who say the escapees tried to break into their buildings.
Fits with what I heard. They want to take one over.
They'll be a lot easier to deal with on the street, without hostages.
I'm working on it. Talk to you soon.
but on the street they'll be spread out. I guess now they have hostages though, so there's that. It just kind of makes sense. What was I talking about?
Oh, backup's here. Great. Okay, you guys sing doo-wah, and I'll sing lead.
I honestly don't get whatever reference that's supposed to be. Haha. See there, I realized I messed up, so I just did a finishing attack instead. I think I've already gotten all the stuff, right? I'm at a 93 hit combo. My goodness. Hopefully that's enough to get everything. I think I might have paused there. There's a little bit of a stutter. I really wasn't paying enough attention. So anyway, what I was saying is like, it's like, okay, you know, this whole time I'm saying like, oh, you can't blame Sable, you gotta blame Osborn. But that being said, like, you know, to some degree, like the you know, the Nazi army forces were maybe to blame for some of the actions they committed. I don't know if you could exclusively blame their commanding officers.
Guys, we don't have backup or reinforcements here. Just people, you dig?
I kind of like that joke. But that being said, the Nazi forces were nationalist forces of Germans within their own country, working within their own country to fight citizens within their own country, which is a little different than foreign agents coming in to another country that they were hired to come into by a citizen of that country to do potential crimes in that country. They are not from that country, and they're just doing what they're told. Like, I feel like to some degree, they are less to blame, I would say, for than the person who hired them to do it. As the person who hired them to do it is, you know, a part of that country. I don't know, this is a weird distinction I feel like I'm making at this point. I don't know if I'm like trying to, I'm basically saying that the Nazis are bad. That's really the takeaway here. Is that you could, if you whatever, it's these Sable agents, you know, you could see as, and they're not, well, I don't think they're as bad as Nazis. They're not killing anybody or, you know, other atrocities. But I was just saying, it's like, oh, can you blame the people who committed the crimes for the crimes when they're just following orders, whatever? It's like, is just following orders an excuse? I feel like is sort of what the debate became. And I wanted to point out that this is a little different of a situation from other ones where you can make the, oh, it was just following orders argument. It's in this case, that is kind of entirely what they set out to do. It's not like they're attacking their own people. I don't know. This is a weird argument I'm having. I don't think it's that important. But we finished this area, so it got us through that. At least. And I'm all glowing green because I'm healing slow motion. Oh no, we did not get through this area. There's one guy left on the map. This is what I hate about these.
Finally out of sight.
Yeah, I hate that about these like Riker areas, is they're so huge that you never see people. So I don't even know if this guy like knows I fought anyone. No, he's like still on the lookout. He's like, oh, I'll spot that Spider-Man if he ever comes. Oh, that's unfortunate. Why didn't I just hit him with the impact web? What am I doing? Oh, I'm trying to push him off. I can't though, because they don't fall off ledges. Good. Yeah. I kind of wish I'd done the throw, but that works too. Cool, now we're done with the prison gang.
Captain, the block's quiet. Everyone in an orange jumpsuit is down for the count.
Great job. If they'd gotten into a residential building, they'd have done a lot of damage. Good news. A Rikers escapee we picked up says they've stopped establishing bases.
What brought that on?
You. They decided the bases make them too easy to find. They've gone back on the run. Smaller groups.
Picking them off a few at a time takes longer, but it's safer. Especially for New York.
Exactly. Nice going.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that before. The whole, like, Spider-Man kind of does work as a deterrent.
Folks, the city is in crisis. We have bridges and tunnels closed. People who work in the city but don't live here are trapped within. Others have been barred from homes placed under emergency quarantine. I'm hearing reports of tent cities, people sleeping in parks. It's like the Depression and the 1918 flu epidemic all rolled into one. I know times are hard and we are all struggling, but if you see someone who needs help, do what you can. That's the only way we'll make it through this. We must pull together or fall apart. Jared, write that down. That was a good one. Friends, today we have a caller who's been a victim of what people call the corruption that infects otherwise law-abiding citizens, causing them to go on violent rampages. Police assure me these corrupted are not responsible for their actions, so I am not divulging my guest's name. Tell us, caller, what was it like?
Surreal. Like I was in a nightmare world, surrounded by monsters. And every dark impulse I ever had, anger, fear, hate, was ramped up and turned loose.
Terrifying. And I understand that while you were in the grip of this madness, Spider-Man beat you up.
Well, he stopped me hurting people.
By beating you up?
I mean, he used as little force as possible.
That sounds like a yes. There you have it, people. Spider-Man beats up the mentally ill.
We know Batman does for sure. That was a pretty funny one, though.
Longtime caller Officer Andrews is back with us. As always, thank you for your service to our fair city, officer. What's new?
Mr. Jameson, you know I'm a fan, but I just saw Spider-Man in action. I worked with him to stop Wilson Fisk's men from stealing back their hard drives. And he's a stand-up guy.
Now wait a second, my friend. I'm not questioning your word. I'm sure what you said happened. But have you considered that it was in Spider-Man's interest to help you?
How so?
He obviously had a long-standing feud with Fisk and wants him put away. That doesn't make him Mother Teresa. It just means he had a grudge.
Look, I hear you, but why can't we give him the benefit of the doubt?
Why? Because he hides behind that mask. You trained. You stand up with your badge and name tag on, and you do your job every day. He runs and hides. If you cause the kind of damage he does, what would happen?
I'd be doing paperwork until the day I retire. And probably riding a desk, too.
And why, my dear friend, should you have to follow these rules, and not him?
You know, that's a damn good point.
I knew you'd come around.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. That's Vigilante summarized in a single one.
Hey, Uncle Ben. Miss you. Doing my best to make you proud.
Woof. I'm so glad that I managed to... I was stopped and I had to catch that voice line.
Magnifique.
That was definitely one of the more
Nice composition, if I do say so myself.
nice things that I
Can't leave Yuri hanging. She needs my help.
that I found. So these are all the secret photo ops in a row. We finished all the other side stuff.
Got it.
So it'll just be secret photo op after secret photo op.
Once again, a low-information member of Spider-Man's cult, fan club, wants to make him a saint. Sounds insane, but I always hear people out before passing judgment. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, well, Spider-Man has been all over this city, stopping crimes, large and small, helping people, doing good.
Wrong.
I thought you were gonna hear me out.
I've heard enough. Rational arguments are clearly lost on you, madam, but there may be hope for others out there, so let me go over it again. It is not helping when a vigilante leaps into the middle of a crime scene or emergency situation with no training, expertise, or public identity. What if he injures someone? Who holds him accountable? The answer, my friends, is me.
I think in this particular case, Spider-Man has proven himself to be either trained or, I forgot what the middle thing was, though he is not a public figure, so I give him that.
Friends, you know about the Spider-Man-related breakout at Rikers Island. Where are those escapees going now? To your neighborhood! Our next caller witnessed it personally. Please, tell us.
I was just coming back from the store when a swarm of guys in prison jumpsuits came out of nowhere, like a pack of wolves. Robbing, beating, looting. Lucky for us, Spider-Man took them down.
Yes, well, you know how criminals are. Rival factions and all. He didn't want the competition.
Competition? Spider-Man didn't steal anything.
That you know of. Next caller.
Yep, that's just the argument.
Love it.
Like, wow, it's a good thing Spider-Man saved us, right? It's like, haha, he didn't save you. He robbed you. It's like, but he didn't rob you. You didn't see him robbing you. Didn't mean you didn't get robbed.
I've expressed my concern with Sable International's heavy-handed tactics. Our next caller witnessed them firsthand. Tell us what happened.
A bunch of us were protesting Sable, standing up for our rights like you always say, and suddenly they just start beating on people and arresting us for no reason.
This is always the risk of giving anyone too much power. They abuse it. Be aware that if you stand up to them, there may be consequences. It's up to you whether that's a risk worth taking. For me, clearly it is.
The crazy thing was, Spider-Man set us free.
Yes, well that's what happens when the supposed authorities start breaking the law. Next to them, other lawbreakers don't seem so bad. Thanks for calling. We're out of time.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Nice composition, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, at least he seems to agree that Sable is worse than Spider-Man. And also, I have no idea what this is a reference to.
Nice.
Also, this is a freaking Daredevil reference. So that's pretty cool.
Can't leave Yuri hanging.
Yeah,
She needs my
we've
help.
already heard that. So I don't know what that says. Maybe you guys can parse it out so I have it on there. But yeah, Nelson and Murdoch, attorneys of the law. It's pretty cool.
Situation normal.
So we passed by this in an earlier episode, Rubs from the Rich, and didn't take a picture. Unfortunate. I don't know why.
Watch it.
I think this is just another basic one, or like an actual real thing.
Please proceed to Chelsea ASAP.
That one I don't know what it's a picture of. I mean, it's a rainbow on a building, but I don't know what makes it so special.
Magnifique.
Yeah, I don't know. These are all probably real New York things that I don't know about.
Nice composition, if I do say so
You know, it
myself.
just looks like a tree to me.
Good shot.
This thing's cool though. These koi fish. Again, I don't know what this is, but that is a really nice looking painting. So
Nice.
there you go. Yeah, I don't know what a lot of this stuff is.
Good
I
shot.
think that's a picture of the scorpion guy down there. I don't know why they made us take a picture so high
God,
up.
how much I love photography.
I think it's a hobo camp. I don't know why. Homeless camp. I don't know why. Maybe it's a famous one. I don't know.
Ooh, love that shot.
I mean, clearly some sort of arch.
Beautiful.
That we actually passed by in the game, Leo's Pizza. And that's the Rhino, which is right next to the another thing that we did.
Nowhere did it say. Yuri was a detective at the Chinatown Police Department when we met. She's really risen fast.
That one seems kind of random, but there it is. This thing, I get closer to it. I don't know what it is. I imagine it's really in New York, but it's a creepy looking leprechaun looking dude. So there you go.
Sorry, I'm usually web
If you wanted a better view of that,
That's a keeper.
it's I think I don't know what that is. Tennis court.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. As a theater, the Auerbach Theater. Auerbach. I don't think that's it. And that's it. I've 100%ed everything everywhere. So all that's left are these nice secret photo ops, and that is actually a really nice looking painting. I assume that's really in New York.
Masterpiece.
It's also a cool looking sculpture. And then here's the famous bowl,
Love
which I look at the back because I believe this bull famously has gigantic testicles, but they demanned him for the game, which is unfortunate. But with that, I unlock this suit for getting every picture, the SU suit, which I think I wear in part 20. So look forward to that if you haven't seen it, or it's probably more likely already come out. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the series. It's almost done. I'll see you guys next time. Zoink out.